Yo, 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 what is up, ladies and gentlemen, in anything, all non-gender specifying individuals, and anything that may be in between those. This is another episode of KQK Presents Shoot the Messenger. Glad to be back. Been a bit of a rough couple weeks in America, to say the least, but you know, the fight never stops. We got to keep pushing. Most definitely. Glad to see that, you know, despite people, you can definitely tell it's weighing on their minds, but I'm glad to see that people are still pushing forward, still getting information out there, still, you know, doing everything they can to make sure that change happens in this country. So, and I want to give a special shout out. It's Pride Month, so definitely want to give a shout out to the LGBTQIA community. We love you. I know that hasn't always been the case in America, but we here on this podcast definitely do. And, you know, yeah, we love you. We want better for you. We want to be better for you. And we're, you know, at least on my end, I can say I'm doing everything I can to educate myself and be a part of the solution and not part of the problem. So definitely shout out to that. And want to give another shout out to John Boyega, Black King. Just as basic as it is, he's a Black King. He's, you know, he's a leader, and you know, I know it could cost him a lot, especially the way, you know, Hollywood works. It's, you know, definitely a risk, but you know, you got to stand up for what's right, and that's what he's doing. And I can't say enough how much I appreciate that. And to everybody that was hating on him before, fuck you, I guess. Man's out here.
I was gonna go with it is what it is, but that works too.
That's a nice way of saying it. I'm using the word T quoted when he was talking about the racist white people, and he said what he said. So shouts out to him, man, doing his thing. And I was glad to see Jordan Peele. He did a speech. I forget where they were, but he did a speech, and you know, he was talking about he may be putting his career at risk. And I was glad to see Jordan Peele came out in support of him, said, "Fam, I got you." There are a few other people that, you know, came out and said, "Fam, don't even worry about your career. You know, Black people, we definitely stand by you." So, yeah, shouts out to him. And now that that's out of the way, I can pass it over to Q, and you know, he'll read you what we plan on talking about today.
Yeah, I definitely, we both, Keaton and I, stand with Kyle with everything that he said. We actually agree with him for once as a unit. We want to support.
That won't last too long.
It won't last long, but we agree. We support the LGBTQIA plus community and John Boyega for standing on his principles for sure. But get into that agenda. So the update on the police officers with the George Floyd killing. Breonna Taylor, her case has been reopened, and we're going to talk a little bit about that as well. Messiah Young and Tamaya Pilgrim in Atlanta, and them losing their lives as well, and talking about how...
Well, they didn't lose their lives.
They didn't lose their lives.
No, they were just wrongfully arrested and physically assaulted. Police brutality. Yeah, they didn't lose their lives. So no.
Okay, that's good. Okay. But still, police brutality with Messiah Young and Tamaya Pilgrim in Atlanta, and how that case turned out. Just some general rest in power, towards any lives that have been lost during the protests, and then some dumb comments made by the LA chief of police about protesters. And then we're going to make more of a comedic shift, talking about, number one, how the former Miss Malaysia had some choice comments about Black people, racist people, just generally racist people getting exposed. Some of y'all need to just stay off of social media or just stay at home and stop talking to people. And then, of course, celebrities who have just been talking a little too much. There's too many of them for me to enumerate right now. Don't worry, we'll get into all of that soon. We're going to have a little bit of positivity when it comes to Kanye, because you know what? We slander Kanye enough on an everyday basis. So, you know, we'll give him his little credit.
Yeah, that's true.
And we have Akon and 6ix9ine Apparently, they're gonna drop a quote unquote dope track, but gotta say, it's disappointing when you got legends stooping down to that level. But we'll get to that later. We're gonna have a return of the Only Man's Conversation to look forward to, courtesy of Kyle here. And then Keaton has a little story time to tell involving 2K and hoodies.
And also, we're going to get into Q being dumped. Yeah, because I need to hear that story.
What? I don't get dumped very often, but okay.
I don't believe you.
You never do. You're consistent. And
He gets dumped into the bucket of friend zone quite regularly.
Into the bucket of, okay, all right. Well, my ratio is currently better than yours, Keaton. Took you a while to get here.
I've got a 1-to-1 winning ratio. I don't need any more.
It's not.
It's not 1-to-1. If you're talking about the number of times that you won compared to the number of times that you won, yes.
You're not even 1-for-1 with your girl right now. Y'all were like 1-for-1, and then y'all was off, so you were like 1-for-2, and then they were back on. It was like 2-for-3, and then y'all was back off again for like 2 more, so you were like 2-of-5, and you may be 3-of-6 right now, maybe.
And that's if you don't count all the past shorties that you've messed with. So
exactly, you're probably more closer to like 3-for-20.
Hey, just got to keep shooting, keep that percentage high. That's all you got to work on.
No, you don't. You need to. This ain't no. You not Deion Waiters. This ain't no. I'd rather go 0-for-30 than 0-for-9 because 0-for-9 means you lost confidence. No, stop shooting.
That's a 15%.
I've definitely stopped shooting. Like, I'm good.
Yeah, because we took you out the game and put you on a bench.
I retired. No. I'm in retirement. This is my
what
retirement.
He is? He's like the people on like the Golden State Warriors team that happen to get traded there, and it's like number 15 on the bench. Never played a single second, but just somehow lucked out with the championship team.
He don't never take the warm-up suit off.
No. No, in fact, I wear a suit the whole time. Like
I was gonna say, matter of fact, he don't even get the warm-up suit. He's just in a suit. He's sitting on the bench.
Yeah, it don't fit in the budget.
Perkins on the Cavs.
Oh, Kendrick Perkins
on the Cavs.
10,000 claps averaging.
Yeah, out here, I'm an emotional leader for the Cavaliers. Like, okay, Kendrick. Okay.
Get show. Shut up.
I just feel like LeBron probably looked at that and was like, yeah, but let's get into it. So the updates on the police officers in the George Floyd case. Kyle, the floor is yours.
Oh yeah, so I forget how long ago this was, but the officers involved in that case, as we know, Derek Chauvin had been charged with first-degree murder, and the other 3 officers had been still released or still out. I'm not sure if they were suspended from duty, but they were just out and about with seemingly nothing planned to happen to them. And so recently the DA got involved, and so Chauvin's charge has been upgraded to 2nd degree, and the other 3 officers are being charged with accessory to that. And I know a lot of people have kind of been calling for the 1st degree charge, but I think the reason that's probably not going to happen is that 1st degree kind of has to be like a premeditated, you thought about it for a long time before you actually did it. Whereas 2nd degree is like you thought about it, but it wasn't planned. I forget the
crime of passion.
Yeah. So I think, while I would prefer a 1st degree charge, I think if they tried to go with that, they would not be able to get a guilty verdict. And once they charged him with that, he couldn't be brought up for the same crime later on because of double jeopardy. Right? I might be that might not be accurate, but anyway, glad to see that. I was mostly glad to see that they got the other 3 officers and charged them because, they're just as much, their murder is just as much as, Chauvin was. So happy to see that. It's only a step though. A charge is not a conviction, and that's what we really need to see. So can only hope that they do the right thing there.
Absolutely. I agree there. So thank
And
you for that.
in regards to Breonna Taylor, her case is reopened. As I'm sure a lot of you know, police burst into her house, wrong house, and shot her 8 times, I believe.
Yep.
And so, when was Breonna Taylor?
That was back in March, man. Like that happened a long time ago.
Yeah, and so
and they just now reopened the case. So,
yeah, and so those officers, I'm pretty sure those officers were working, like with seemingly nothing being, out of the ordinary for them. So, glad to see that they're reopening that. Hope to see charges and convictions in that case as well, because they definitely deserve it, and she deserves justice.
Yes.
So.
No, it was great to see the effort by so many people on social media and outside of that on her birthday, which would have been Friday, June 5th.
Happy birthday, Angel.
Yes. So it's great that we as a community were able to bring attention to her, because oftentimes Black women are left forgotten in these movements and in these protests against police brutality. So glad that we were able to.
I mean, we should just say in general, not,
in general, absolutely. So glad to see that we were able to bring attention to that and change the trajectory of what would have happened there for sure. And then moving on, we have Messiah Young and Tamaya Pilgrim, which again we talked about a little bit earlier, but 6 officers that were Black in Atlanta, Georgia, that ended up being a case of police brutality against them, and they were charged swiftly. So
no. I guess for anybody that didn't see it, I don't know how you wouldn't have, but I guess in some ways actually I could, because it's been so much, so much in the news cycle. But they were driving at night, just rolling through, seemingly did nothing wrong, just trying to adhere to the curfew, and these 6 officers broke their windows, dragged them out of the cars. It's really quite disturbing to see. And I think they had their body cams turned off, I believe. I believe that's just because, actually, scrap that, because I don't want to put any misinformation out there, because I can't quite recall it right now. But just know that the 6 officers that did it, they were all Black, and they were all charged, I want to say, within like a couple of days. I want to say, which is another, that's a whole, like, glad to see that they got charged, but I think we can all kind of read between the lines of why they were charged so quickly, and why, it took, why there's other officers who have been engaging in much of the same and they haven't been charged. We all know why that is. So I believe they're planning on suing, and I think they're gonna get quite a large settlement from that. At least I hope.
I think it would be pretty tough to not get a large settlement at this point.
Yeah.
But I'm happy that they, I was talking to someone the other day, and just the importance of the fact that we have technology now to make sure that these things come to light and they get the proper attention they deserve. We didn't have this for a long time, so I am glad to see that the technology is being utilized to impact lives in a positive way.
Yeah, for sure. And moving forward, the LA chief of police had a dumbass comment to make. What is it? Chief Ralph Terrazas?
Chief, you said Ralph Terrazas?
Oh no, sorry.
I thought it was Michael Moore.
Yeah, Michael Moore. Sorry. Yeah.
Moore.
Ralph Torres is the fire department chief. Sorry. Yeah, the police chief, Michael Moore. His exact quote, or at least part of it: "We didn't have protests last night. We had criminal acts. We didn't have people mourning the death of this man, George Floyd. We had people capitalizing. His death is on their hands as much as it is those officers."
Mm.
And he added, "That is a strong statement, but I must say that this civil unrest that we're in the midst of, we must turn a corner from people who are involved in violence, people who are involved in preying upon others." And that's just a horrible comment to make. I think he tried to walk it back later, but I mean, I think he knew what kind of response that statement would get when he says that is a strong statement. Like, yeah, no shit. You basically, like, you're blaming like looters for the death of George Floyd. At least that's how your statement reads.
Yeah, I was about to say that the first part of the statement, which was just saying that there are opportunists out there, that while you should be careful to say certain things like that, because that will sometimes become the main narrative that people assume that majority of everyone that is looting and rioting are opportunists to some degree, which that's a dangerous thing to say, but there is a reality in the fact that there are some people that are opportunists. The second part is the part where it's like, whoa, okay, all right, clearly did not get this approved by a PR person that knows what they're doing.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
So, just a horrible, very insensitive comment to make. And I think it's just doing more to reinforce the fact that we don't like police because of so many numerous issues that they have.
Yeah.
And, he did nothing to kind of deter that. So, man, it's just a horrible comment.
Yeah.
So,
and, go ahead.
Finally, rest in peace, rest in power to all the people who have lost their lives during this protest. David McCatty, rest in peace, rest in power. Man who was shot and left out in the street for about 12 hours. Just horrible news. Definitely sending positive energy and prayers to his family. And Sarah Grossman, a young white lady who was out protesting, and she got tear gassed, and that eventually led to her passing. Rest in peace, rest in power to her family. And there's so many more that I can't even really remember all their names, which is sad. But rest in peace, rest in power to everybody who's out there. Man, I don't really know what else to say about that, but praying for the safety of, if you're out at these protests, please be safe, be careful. And that's about all I can say.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, rest in peace, rest in power. Our hearts go out to everyone and their loved ones that have to endure the pain of these situations, for sure. All right. You good? Everybody good? As far as like, do you need to take like a break or something?
Nah, man, let's keep going. It's heavy times, but there were, keep fighting. It's kind of been, all I've been trying to keep in my mind is we got to keep the fight going. We can't be like, normal, quote unquote, where we get, something like this happens, we get outraged for like a week or two, and then, everything's back to square one. We can't let that happen this time. I think as we've seen, like, these protests are working, like things are moving. We are getting things done. There's still a lot more progress to be made, obviously, but, we have power, and, we need to keep using it to, enact change. So, man, let's keep moving.
Okay. Let's get it. So yeah, just wanted to be cognizant. Okay, so on to the goofy stuff, as these things will inherently happen because people have way too much time on their hands and need a job, or
You know, I've come to realize people are a lot stupider than I give them credit for.
because we normally don't get to see their innermost thoughts, and now people really feel confident that the world should see my innermost thoughts, and we've come to find out that their silence was not a sign of wisdom, but of supreme stupidity being hid behind silence. We're gonna choose to start off with the former Miss Malaysia, who is
yes,
who has a statement to say, "You chose to be born as a colored person in America for a reason, to learn a certain lesson." That's interesting.
and it continues actually. Accept it as it is. Till now, hunger and poverty still exist. It is what it is. It's inevitable. Best you can do is remain calm, protect heart, don't allow it to crumble. That's your responsibility. Of of course, this is to the ones who understand this level and state of mind. Not for everyone. Everyone grows at a different rate. Now, I don't know about either of you, but
What the fuck?
I have no clue what the hell any of that means.
Okay, hold on. All right, so I had a friend of mine from high school. She's
a spiritual thinker.
Yes, she is. She has a similar look into spirituality. Basically,
can I get like a reading, or does she have like an 8-ball, or does even better? Does she sell like the homemade
crystals?
She got some tarot cards that she reads from.
Oh, essential oils. I could use
essential oils, essential fragrances.
Yo! I got a lot of friends from Cali. All right, like I gotta stop.
Yeah, they be smoking that Cali green.
Is it essential oils or is it CBD oil?
Both.
Both
of
them. From the people I've met from Cali, it's definitely both of them. Yeah. So her name is Samantha Katie James. All right, so just a little context. I have a friend of mine. She has a very similar way. She thinks about it as every one of us, we have a spirit, right? And our spirit comes back in certain forms onto Earth. And
after we die, or like just
after we die, yes.
Okay.
Like we can exist in other dimensions, but in order for us to learn and to grow, we have to be on this dimension as humans in order to learn certain types of lessons from pain and anguish. And so
Hinduism?
I don't know Hinduism like that to really.
That's like almost Hinduism in a nutshell.
Okay, so our spirits come to Earth in certain forms in order to learn certain lessons. And so I don't know her. I don't know Samantha Katie James like that because I've never really been into the Miss Universe thing. Also, I just don't know her. But I will say that in this case, I may be able to understand that she's saying that our spirits choose to be people of color in order to go through a certain level of strife and a certain level of understanding and to learn something about ourselves. And therefore, all we can do is just endure it from there. However,
this woman is crazy, fam.
This is no. It's these moments where I'm just like, there's people in certain religious beliefs that I'm like, do you not understand how people that don't believe what you believe think you sound?
Yeah.
It comes off completely one way.
I'm speechless.
Well, would you like me to read her apology statement? Because not gonna lie, it didn't make things any clearer for me either. She posted this on Instagram. It reads, "I do hear you. I'm sorry. I know you're hurting. I know it's unfair. I'm not in your shoes to understand this fully." Solid start.
Good start. Yeah. That's. Yeah.
Furthermore, you asked me to explain what I meant by Black people chose to be Black.
Oh no. Oh no.
Is that throughout my journey, I have learned that we are more than just this temporary physical body, like an avatar, merely a tiny speck of dust in this vast, infinite universe. We tend to overlook that from time to time. In our process towards evolution as a human being on earth. We chose our body, our family, our place of birth, our name, and our lessons from the path we take tailor-made for us. I understand a lot of people have shared that I could have phrased my content differently, and I accept that I am responsible for my words. I will make sure I articulate my speech in a proper manner. It's good to clear the air. Yes, I did poorly articulate myself when writing Black people chose to be Black. Duh. And to the Black people, relax, take it as a challenge. It makes you stronger. Again, duh. If I had been more attentive in how I wrote it, the message would have been understood as a heartfelt message to all victims of racism, be it any color.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. I mean, it still fits in my theory, but at the same time, I'm just like, this is not the time to give your metaphysical interpretation of events.
This is
right
not
now.
the time to explain how one's actions can lead to being in a lesser racial state in your next life. Like, not the time. Read the room.
Read the room.
This is the thing that
Exactly.
you say to your friend, and like, hey, I just believe this, and I know it might be misconstrued. And it's like, yeah, that's cool. Just don't say that to anyone else. Thank you.
You
Especially
chose to be Black. Shut up and take it.
I was just like, I don't remember ever choosing it.
I don't remember choosing to be Black.
Yeah. I don't know what she said. I don't know. This is a very outrageous comment that I could say, but I don't know. Would the same concept apply to like the people on the opposite side? Like, do you choose to be George Wallace? Like, I'm just like, that's because that would be a little bit more horrifying, you know.
George Wallace.
Yeah, the 1960s guy from Alabama. He had a presidential campaign.
Oh, no, I don't.
Más detalles, por favor.
Right.
I'm
to
not,
give a further
I'm-
explanation. Okay, George Wallace was probably the most racist human that's remembered during the 60s. He was the governor of Alabama. He's the guy who was he's the guy who coined the term segregation now, segregation forever.
Okay. Thank you.
He's also one of the people who coined "You loot, we shoot."
Oh, he's the one that originated that.
Well, I don't know if he originated that. I do know that he was part of the I think he was part of the people one of the individuals who did say that. But most of the stuff involving him he was the guy who promoted having like the tanks. There were these like tanks that rolled through Birmingham that were specifically designed to combat Black people, you know, out and about in their normal fucking life. So yeah, he also ran for president under a specific racist platform. So
Got you.
So my
Enough said.
my essential question to that was like,
Do people choose to be racist?
yeah, do you based upon your current actions in one life, do you choose to be something like that? Like,
I guess so. Some people
I am
are
not on the level where I can understand that. My spiritual
maybe I'm just not enlightened.
my spiritual thinking is not at a level where I can even comprehend such a statement like that. So I'm just a peasant. Like I can't. That is not for me. It
Come
is
on,
for
King.
people. It is for a higher power to take care of.
Behold, I am the unenlightened one.
Exactly.
Listen, we are all kings and queens. All right, we are descended from them.
Hey,
Don't downplay your
a
excellence.
former Miss Malaysia. Shut up. Shut the hell up.
Yeah.
Go back to your Facebook group of friends to stay off the other Insta medias.
I thought that was going in a different
Whoa,
direction.
I was scared. I was
What?
so scared. You said go back to your. I was like, oh,
Yeah, I was like,
where's this boy gonna tell this girl to go? Oh Lord, oh Lord. Okay.
Like we gotta hey Q, mark this down.
Moving on. Because I'm not gonna lie, my heart did stop. I was like, oh no, what is he gonna say?
I was like, oh shit.
That's called a Euro step. I went here, and then I went here, and then I let it in.
You went James Harden on him. Hit that.
I've been
Yes.
helping. I've been helping him with his diet routine. You know, helping him lay off the strippers.
Hey man, them strippers might be keeping him up on that cardio, but that is neither here nor there.
It's
Race.
Rona time.
What you mean by keeping them up on that cardio? Kid?
What does that even mean?
Okay. Are we not gonna act like sex would be like a decent cardiovascular exercise, particularly
Depends
if you
on
have
how
sex
much
with
work
enough women?
you put in.
That's what I'm saying.
You
Particularly,
think James Harden puts in work in that? Hell no.
listen, he's
That
got to
man
put in the
lazy
D
as hell.
somewhere. He's got to. He don't do it on the basketball court. He's got to do it somewhere.
Good point. That's a good point.
You got a point. Touche.
That's true.
All right.
So that's why Kawhi is so uninvolved when he had a stripper on it.
Too much defense on the court, bro.
He was putting his D somewhere else.
Yeah. And so now we're going to get into just in general. We just want to give a quick shout out to all the racist people out there that are getting exposed on social media.
Yeah, man. Y'all.
You was
Jesus,
dumb.
they finding them.
It's
not even difficult. That's the thing.
No.
It's like these people are like it's just all on Front Street. You ain't even
Yeah.
gotta search that hard.
Especially all those people that are up there like in leadership positions at companies, and you know, if you're the founder of something, you know, you have two totally bipolar responses. So the co-founder of Reddit on one side, and then you've got Greg Glassman, the CrossFit CEO.
I want to get into the Reddit co-founder a bit later.
Yeah.
But
yeah, we got a lot more negativity to wade through before we get to the silver lining. And to be fair, it's not really a silver lining. There's been a lot of positivity happening with people getting involved and doing wonderful things and standing up for Americans that may not look like them, but are people nonetheless, and recognizing their humanity. But that's not why we created this platform, to be positive.
Although we do want to shout out, you know, there's the bail funds, you know, the various, you know, people signing petitions. There's been a bunch of petitions, you know, coming across my timeline. I've been trying to sign as many of them as I can. People are out there doing food drives. You know, because, you know, obviously with the looting, a lot of stores have either been hit and closed, or they're closed trying to, you know, avoid being hit. So, you know, great to see people out there trying their best to, you know, feed the less fortunate. And numerous of other, you know, organizations doing, you know, good work that you can donate to. I know I donated to the Okra Project, which is I want to say it is a pro-black transgender, but I want to make sure that it's not. I don't want to just say it's black if they, you know, work with all races. I don't want to put that
I will say in general, make sure you support your small businesses too. Like
your
Kyle
small
touched on.
businesses, definitely.
You know,
and by the way, their statement, is a collective that seeks to address the global crisis faced by Black trans people.
Wonderful.
So they have a bunch of different initiatives that they do. I was able to, you know, donate to one of them that I found very important. And so, you know, a good thing about Twitter these days is that a lot of people are putting good information about organizations that are, you know, doing good, honest work. And so, you know, I've been using a lot of them to kind of find these organizations and, you know, spare whatever bit I can. And, you know, like you said, people, you know, small businesses, you know, take care of those, because let's face it, they're the ones who are really being hit by this, not the big corporations who are getting bailed out, basically.
Or just have enough guap where it's just
they'll be fine.
It's insignificant, really. Yeah.
Yeah. Please support Black businesses. Definitely do that, because they're getting hit very hard by this too. And again, you know, you can find these places. People are sharing information like never before. You can definitely find, you know, places that are Black owned, and, you know, spend your money there. Please do that. And also, I just kind of want to add, even if you don't have money to spare, because let's face it, a lot of us don't. You know, we're very fortunate
to, you know, be able to spare what little that we do have. And I know some people can't even afford to do that. There are numerous other ways that you can, you know, support the movement. So don't feel pressured that if you don't have, you know, if you can't give a monetary contribution, doesn't mean you can't contribute at all. There's, you know, a lot of other ways to do that. And hell, if you can't do anything else, educate yourself and educate the people around you. Because honestly, knowledge is probably the most powerful thing that we have. And so if you can do that, you're helping. So
donate your time, donate your money, donate your thoughts, your voice. You can donate to your community in multiple different ways. You don't have to just be, you know, type of person that only throws cash or something. You know, we all can't do that. That's not, you know.
But only donate your thoughts if they're good thoughts, not the crap that some of these
which we're actually, thank you guys for the great segue. So some of y'all really just need to stick to money and more money. And some of y'all need to not try to donate your voice. Your voice can stay inside.
Yeah, your voice can just,
inside. We're going to start off with Virgil Abloh, who is... Virgil Abloh, who, if you don't know, he is, you know, with anything Off-White as far as, what is that, Louis Vuitton?
Yeah, he's...
So...
No, go ahead, Keith.
So he's essentially, historically, has been a fashion designer, entrepreneur, and artist. He's also been a DJ, I believe.
Yep.
So he's the artistic director for Louis Vuitton's menswear.
Yep.
So, but he founded and is the current CEO of Off-White. So Off-White is technically a street fashion wear. So if you're into anything like street fashion, so we're talking like Off-White could mean like hoodies, it could mean shorts, socks, it could mean like sweatpants.
Sneakers.
Yeah, we're talking like jewelry, everything.
He really gained prominence first and foremost because he worked with Kanye West when he was up and coming into the fashion world, and they had a little beef because he ended up being in that position in Louis Vuitton, and that's what Kanye wanted and all that good stuff. So that's when he started really becoming a part of the social zeitgeist.
Yeah. So I think
zeitgeist, big word. Double point Scrabble words. I see.
Trying. But he's recently come under fire because two things. One, he was reposting and posting on social media about some of his peers getting their stores broken into, designers that were getting their stores broken into during the riots and looting, and speaking on the disgust that he felt over people doing that to his peers' stores. And then on top of that, somehow the Twitter sleuths found out that he only donated $50 towards a particular cause.
Well, this is the thing, because I believe, before he did, after all of that, he made like a $20,000 donation.
Yes.
I want to add. But he made a post on his Instagram.
Real early on.
Yeah, he put it on his Instagram story. And it reads, "The Miami community, I'm crazy inspired for kids in the streets that need a bail funds, wrote that wrong, for George Floyd protests." So he's donating to, you know, one of the bail funds.
Yep.
He sent $50, and then he asked people to match that. Now, as I'm sure you can imagine, Black Twitter especially was not exactly happy.
If you're familiar with any item's price point from Louis Vuitton or Off-White, you would know that $50 is not going to get you far at all.
To put it into perspective, somebody tweeted, someone mentioned that Virgil's donation wouldn't even cover a pair of his socks. And
no,
that's even if they were on sale.
Yes.
His socks are $53. They're originally $100. On sale, they're $53.
Let me give you something. So, Off-White, like I said, it's very, very styled towards like streetwear, right? So we're not talking anything fancy, anything super. We're not talking about. It's not a business suit. It's not a dress shirt. It's not a collared shirt. it's like t-shirts, right?
T-shirts and sweats, yeah.
Yeah. So if you go to their website and look at like the t-shirts that they have to offer, the very first one that pops up is a black logo sweatshirt that is $440. Now, I mean, I don't know about y'all, but a $440 sweatshirt that just has a logo on it and nothing else, that's just like cotton, is not on my list.
It better be like that. It better be like them shoes and like Mike. Put that shirt on, get superpowers, start dribbling and shooting like crazy. Absolutely not.
I mean, it better be like the Tony Stark Iron Man suit for me, because if you think I'm buying a sweatshirt for $440, you can kiss my ass, and then I'll be like, you can shove it up your ass too. You can shove that whole ass sweatshirt. You can roll it up into a ball, dip it in some water, and then shove it up your butt, and then I'll laugh at you while you cry. Because fuck you. You shouldn't be making clothes that expensive.
First of all, clearly it works for him. Second of all, if anyone ever sells you an Iron Man high-tech exoskeleton for $450, that's stolen.
I wouldn't.
Don't take that.
You know.
Hey, a deal is a deal.
No.
But
did I tell y'all that story about when I got my first golf putter, where I got it from?
Is this going to incriminate you?
No, not really. No.
Okay.
No, so I bought. So when I was trying to learn golf like a long time ago, I think this was like I was a senior in high school, and I was like on Craigslist looking for golf clubs because I didn't want to buy like new shit. And
that was your first problem. You was on Craigslist.
Hey, chill out. So I found this like guy in Hueytown, Alabama, which for the people from Alabama, they'll understand what Hueytown is.
I don't think anybody who's listening to this podcast is going to know where.
Except when you re-listen to the podcast. Yes.
I mean, it is what it is. So anyway, I show up and it's like putters for $10, and I'm like, this is really cheap. Like, all right, cool.
Strike two.
So I like messaged him. I was like, hey, I saw you have this one putter. Is it used or new? And he goes, new. And I'm like,
strike three.
And I'm like, and so I messaged back and I'm like, so you trying to sell it for $10? Question mark. And he goes, yeah. Do you want it? And I was like, yeah, it's $10. I want it. So I pull up and I don't know how to phrase this exactly. It wasn't in the neighborhood I was expecting it to be in. And he had a bucket full of golf clubs with the wrappers still on them. And he said, hey, you want any more golf clubs? I was like, no, I just want the putter. And he was like, all right, well, if you need more, I got a bunch for $10. I was like, all right, cool. And I was like, all right, I don't think I'm going to buy golf clubs like this again. Because I was like, I don't want to ask where you got these. I'm just going to say, hey, I got a good golf club for a good deal. That's it.
All right. Yeah, no. You don't make good purchasing decisions. Okay, hey, so that's enough.
I got a new golf club for $10.
Moving.
So speaking about other dumb people.
Well, we're still not finished with Virgil.
We're not done with Virgil yet? Okay.
No, because the jokes people.
All right. Let them jokes off, King. Let them jokes off.
Oh, it's simple. Virgil has now become the standard term for 50. And that this is what we use it now. So, mugs is like, I want to keep it 2 Virgils.
Jesus.
People are like, yo, I donated a Virgil.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Michael Jordan.
Sounds like you're donating a sperm or something.
Michael Jordan. Moving past that, Michael Jordan, who is donating $100 million over 10 years to racial justice causes. Bless up. People said that's 2 million Virgils. You know what I'm saying? So,
jeez,
fam, I ain't even got a Virgil on me right now.
No, I don't either. I don't either. Yeah.
But hey, get your Virgils up.
This is his legacy. Out of all he's accomplished, he is now known for being 50.
Entrepreneur, fashion designer, DJ. Nah, he's just a Virgil.
Virgil.
$50. All right. So,
like Keaton said earlier, fam, read the room.
yeah, read the room. Comedians aren't the only ones that need that skill. But speaking of comedians, my girl B Simone. I'm a huge fan, which is unfortunate for me. If you don't know,
So that's you. That's a big fan. I was like, I knew I followed somebody who's like a big fan of B Simone, and I couldn't remember who it was.
Yeah, the baby girl tone. I'm not gonna do it because it just feels uncomfortable for me to just do that right now. But she's known for the B Simone tone. She's also on Wild 'N Out, and she does her own content, oftentimes with a homie named Desi Banks. We'll get into him later. But she ended up posting on Twitter, doing your part is more than social media. Doing your part is loving your neighbors, praying for the enemy, calling your Black friends and checking on them, signing petitions, donating, meditating, looking in the mirror and becoming better. Before I try to lead, let me examine myself. Yeah, I sped through the second part because really the most important part is praying for the neighbor. Obviously, Twitter was not happy to hear her say that she's going to pray for her neighbor, which was implied to say, hey, are you going to pray for the people that are doing these heinous acts within police brutality and things of that nature? And they lit her up. She ended up responding by posting a video of her going out and protesting and then saying that the only one she has to answer to, I'm paraphrasing, but the only one she has to answer to is God. As long as she makes God happy, it's cool.
She also said that she couldn't be canceled by the internet, and people responded that the internet made you.
Okay.
So
we literally already talked about this. It's not possible to cancel a person.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, I don't think they can cancel you. I don't think that's true because but don't sit up there and act like the internet is not a huge part of why you've gotten to the place that you are.
This is true.
Yeah.
All right, I've got a question for our biblical expert in the room.
I'm not an expert, but okay.
It's definitely not me. So
Okay, Q.
Go ahead. Yes.
Wouldn't you say that specific statement that she said, would that be biblical? Would that be kind of essentially biblical based upon what she was saying?
I believe it would be.
I also believe it would be because it's essentially the same concept as praying for your enemies.
Yes. No, it is. It's just as praying for the enemy, which is the same thing in my mind of like pray for your neighbor.
Who is your neighbor? It's everyone.
Yes.
Like love God, love your neighbor.
Yes. And if you go to the Bible, I'm obviously paraphrasing. I'm not a pastor, so I don't need to be.
Hey, Pastor Q, bring in the word.
Nah, okay, listen, baby. Deacon of the new Bankhead Church of Misogyny. Quiet.
I'm a
Oh no, you're an assistant pastor now.
I was gonna say he got upgraded. He's assistant pastor.
You're the actually no, he's the choir pastor?
Music pastor. Come on.
Music pastor. Sorry.
He does both jobs.
He does both. Wow.
Yeah,
he's
so
both
jobs.
Yeah.
He is misogynistically talented.
Wow. But there is a parable.
Wow.
There is a story.
I feel like I need to defend myself for that one. That is.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
You can if you want to, but we have too many clips to pull up.
Misogyny is not even in my bones. Come on now.
You listen to way too much.
Why
Future.
the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
Oh my God.
Stop fucking lying.
Yeah, great song by the way. But yes,
I'm not gonna lie, my vocal sounded good in my room when I did that. Probably not.
You sound like fucking garbage.
Well, yeah, I mean, you always sound like garbage, so
me?
Let Kyle have
takes one to know one, doesn't it?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
but anyway,
not when it comes to musical garbage.
I went to one of your concerts, fam. Let me tell you.
That shit sounded good too.
1-star rating.
Yeah. I mean, you do all right, but some people pay you. Don't know why, but it is what it is.
I've got receipts to prove otherwise. It's fine.
I'm just saying, people probably also pay bad babies to appear places.
Keaton, I don't believe
That's true. That's fine. I'm okay with that.
That is like your catchphrase. I don't believe you.
Yeah, I don't believe you.
But yes, there is a point in the Bible where there's a rich man that goes up to Jesus and he basically says, hey, like, what are the two most important commandments? And he says, love your God above all else, and then to love your neighbor as you love yourself. So, yes.
Who is my neighbor? Everyone.
Yes. So, for me personally, I don't think there's anything wrong with the statement. I just feel like, and I don't feel like there's anything wrong with the statement in the sense that I do personally believe that hurt people. And so if you're a trash human being, that probably comes from a trash upbringing and a trash way of thinking. And I do pray that they do get better, and that their thinking process is rectified. However, it is quite bold, again, as somebody who essentially depends on the Black side of the internet for their paychecks and for their food and for their livelihood, to say that.
I think it's kind of similar to what Desi did, and I kind of get into that, but it's like maybe like the statement in and of itself, if you just with like no context around it, just that statement is not like something. It's not like not a bad statement. Like, and I'd agree with it per se. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like when you add in the context of the situation around the world and what's going on, and how that statement is often used to try and pacify people's outrage in some ways. And so, that's where the problem for her came. It's where the problem with Desi came, because, Desi, I'm sure a lot of people, does funny skits, mostly, on Twitter, on IG, and posts them. And he made a post. It's a picture that was circulating quite a bit. And, it's two parts. There's a picture of Martin Luther King at the top, him marching, and it says, "This is a protest." And on the bottom is an image of looters, and it says, "This is a crime." Now, again, just if you take that picture and you like don't add any context around it, he's right? Like one person is protesting, one is obviously committing a crime per se. The problem is that when he posted that, a lot of people who were against the Black Lives Matter movement, is probably the best way I can say that, without cursing. Most people are, or I guess I should say this, people are using the looting as a way to try to,
let me break it down for you. The fucktards only look at the looting, and they don't appreciate the actual protesting, which is needed.
Yeah, they're trying to devalue the actual, people who are trying to I can't think of the word.
Push a message forward. They're trying to bring something to light. They're trying to change the narrative, change the dichotomy.
Yeah, try to paint the movement out as something that it's not. Basically
to delegitimize it, really.
Yeah, yes. Thank you. Delegitimize.
They're trying to essentially. They're essentially conservatives and other people that are trying to paint that too. They're trying to paint all Black people in the looter narrative.
Yes, exactly.
They're saying, hey, if you're out there protesting, if you're Black, if you're white, if you're any race, any gender, and you're out there protesting, you are the problem. That's what they're saying, essentially.
They're trying to combine the protesters and the looters and say that it's all one big thing.
Yes, and I also think they're pushing the protesters as being not protesters. Excuse me. They're pushing the protesters that are Black, saying that only the looters are Black as well.
Yes.
Statistically, it's mostly white people, so
there's a lot of evidence against that. Very much so. And so when Desi made that post, that was, again, read the room. That is, the narrative that was around when you post that.
Right.
And so when you post that, even if you do mean it as like, I don't agree with people looting, I want people to, be out there protesting and doing it that way.
Right.
What it comes across as is that white supremacist idea that, combining the protests and the looters. And, I wasn't happy that he made that post. A lot of people weren't happy that he made that post. And he got quite a bit of backlash for that. I want to say he lost quite a few followers, like over 100,000 at least, if not. Yeah, he lost quite a few. And I might be like severely underestimating how many, because I don't quite remember. But he got a lot of backlash for that. And so it's, kind of like I was saying, last time we were talking, like, do some research, man. Like, before you say something, before you post something, before you do anything, do your research and make sure you understand what's going on. Again, read the room. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know Desi Banks, obviously, and I don't think he's one of these. I don't necessarily think he's a coon, quote unquote. Shout out to Dr. Umar Johnson, but
all right.
But you have to understand, like, even if you're trying to say one thing, like, context is very important when it comes to what you're posting and everything. And if you, like just, man, do your research. I don't think he's a bad person. I hope he's learned from this. Also, to be fair, I think a lot of it was like people who already didn't really like him, just kind of using this to
finding an excuse
to fuel the fire.
Yeah,
that's true.
And that's what I feel like a lot of this, of the criticism from various people. Number one, most of them are not like really fans, because I think I follow Desi Banks pretty regularly. Like, I check up on his stuff all the time, even though like his hood meme stuff, like, I don't really relate to it all that much. But it is what it is. He changes content, so it is what it is. But I would definitely say that with Desi Banks, just the way that he holds himself, the way that he has held himself, he's always been somebody that's very much like pro-black and stands up for the, like, not stands up, but is a part of the black community and actively a part of it. So if he says stuff like that, I don't see any problem with the criticism. I think it's our job to communicate how we feel and how certain things come off to us.
No, for sure.
My main issue is like with canceling somebody off of like one incident.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Like that's not, you're not a real fan. Like, if you don't give somebody the time of day to say like, yo, like, because he actually does end up apologizing in a video later. I've learned from the situation. I was able to speak with some friends and some elders to get a better understanding, to really explain what it is that I really put out. I'm not against y'all. I'm not against no black people. And yeah, I mean, that's life, man. Like, we all have to learn from, like, yes, being educated is important, but there's so much stuff going on right now. I can understand somebody being like, all right, I said something that was a little inappropriate. Thank you for teaching me. And moving forward, I will definitely do a better job of not being an idiot.
Yeah,
so,
it's like, I don't think he meant any harm by it. I don't think he's a bad person at all. It's just like, you got to understand, like, especially now, like, what you say, you have to be careful what you say, how you say it, the world around you when you're saying it. Like, you got to take all these things into account.
Yeah, like if a host on Fox News is tweeting something, I would not suggest tweeting something similar to what they tweeted, because it's not going to look good.
Also, if any conservative individual's like, hey, see, Desi Banks said it, I'm immediately going to be like, first of all, you don't really listen to Desi Banks.
Yeah, for sure.
Second of all, you clearly got this out of context. And I don't know. I think for me, there has to be a certain amount. I think there's a lot of laziness nowadays, right? Like,
for sure.
Literally, if someone posts anything from, I even B. Simone, where it's like, see, like, Blue Lives Matter, it's like, you clearly have no understanding.
Like, do you know who you're talking about? Do you know who you're talking to? Like,
yeah. So, yeah, I definitely agree there's a responsibility with having a platform and knowing that, hey, yes, because of the way that social media works, you can't, if you are talking to a certain group of people, you can't just assume that those are the only people that are going to absorb it and utilize it in whatever way they deem fit.
For sure.
But I do think that we as consumers have to be very savvy in making sure we do our due diligence. Because if you just follow headlines, you're going to be mad confused and you're going to be spouting a lot of misinformation.
For sure. Again, context is important. Yes. It's real simple to take like 1 minute out of like a full hour's worth of content and make somebody look like a complete asshole.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, hope he's learned from it. Hope he's, trying to do better.
Yep. And finally, we have Tokyo Jet. We have Tokyo Jets. She
that
released.
Was awful.
It says here that her statement follows an Instagram story video in which she said, "I'm a George Floyd, your MFing ass," to a friend.
Yeah, she was like had one of her friends in the chokehold, and that's what she said after I read it. I was like, oh my God.
What? Yeah, I'm not even gonna go through the whole. Desi and B Simone, I'm like, okay, that was just poor wording.
Yeah, this
is just flagrant. This is awful.
Yeah, and it's not. That wasn't even like because like like as Black people, like we make jokes out of like our plights and struggles, like because that's what we do. We like to laugh at shit. Like I don't even think that's like a funny joke. Like nothing about that is comedic, especially right now. But even in the future, I don't see how that would be a joke.
It would be the same, but it would be the same way like Lil Wayne. What is it in that song? Beat him like a cop. Rodney King, baby, say I beat her like a cop. Like it's the similar concept. It just didn't happen literally days after the Rodney King.
Yeah. No, so it's just
we come back to this phrase: read the room.
Read the room.
Come on, y'all. Just like stop being dumb. Like I don't know. Like you can be dumb. Just shut the fuck up.
Actually, one of my favorite tweets about it is y'all keep saying Tokyo Jet's canceled. Well, when the F you ever heard someone say play that Tokyo?
She got a point. Up until this, I didn't even know who Tokyo Jets was.
Literally, the only reason I knew Tokyo Jets was because she was allegedly dating Jason Mitchell. So that's Eazy-E off of Straight Outta Compton. That's the only reason I knew who she was.
So you're into the gossip columns is what you're saying?
No. I like to listen to artists that I look up to, which at the time, this was before everything with the Shy happened. But Jason Mitchell's a really good actor. So he had an interview. I wanted to hear his thoughts. And quite frankly, I didn't agree with a lot of what he said. I don't really remember a lot of what he said because it had very little to do with his acting technique. But I do remember him being like, that's my baby, talking about Tokyo Jets. So, yeah. So we playing Tokyo Jets now? Or
no, hell no.
Are we adding her to the playlist?
No, not at all.
No, we're not gonna add her to the J. Cole playlist. I mean, no.
Don't speak those two names in the same sentence.
Please don't ever put J. Cole in her.
You just disrespected J. Cole out of this.
That's so disrespectful to Cole.
No, we're not gonna add her in the woke playlist. We're not gonna do that.
No, we're gonna add her to the sleep playlist as Stay Sleep on her.
We need to do that actually. That'd be great if we did a.
That actually might be a good service. People need to stay sleep on. Don't check this album out.
Don't for the betterment. I mean, I got a bunch because as they've exposed me about, I give my ear to way too many albums I shouldn't. But
yes, you do.
And
that's
people.
Not the hint. That's true. I care about people. All right, I really do.
Oh, it's her birthday today.
What?
I don't know why I follow this person. Anyway.
Oh, it's irrelevant. Okay.
Stay off. Get away from the instant thoughts. We busy.
These are not instant. This is not an instant thought.
I don't care what you say. This is
an influencer.
Influencer, exactly. There's a proper term for them.
He said, "Put some respect on their name, bro." But
it's a great transition. Influencers. Read the room.
Ladies, gentlemen, and gender non-specifying individuals, I just got to say this. If you're really going to loop in the Black Lives Matter movement to taking certain pictures and trying to also advertise flat tummy tea and other things.
Jesus. Like they're trying to make this a Coachella, like trend type deal. And it's just like, there was the girl who hopped out of car. There was a worker who was boarding up a store, and she literally asked for his drill, poses like she's been doing work. Somebody takes a photo, snap, she hands it back to him, and then hops back in the car. And it's just like, what are you doing? I'm pretty sure she got fired from her job, so karma's a bitch, ain't it?
Too much cap. Too much cap.
And there are plenty of influencers doing very similar things to this, and it's just like
My hatred for social media has no bounds.
Yeah, I try to stay away from it.
Yeah,
Honestly.
I mean, we've seen the good and the bad, right? So we've seen the good social media can do, as in like promoting Black-owned businesses and good places to donate, and like where would we be if we didn't have social media showing police brutality, right?
Yep.
no,
But
for sure.
But at the same time, I'm seeing some of the worst scum of the earth I've ever seen in my entire life.
You gotta take the good with the bad. That's the
Yeah.
unfortunate part of it, right?
I mean,
like,
let's be honest. At this point, Facebook's just got to go. Twitter, you can stay because Twitter's got good and bad. Facebook, in my opinion, is only bad now. Instagram is weird.
Instagram is owned by Facebook, so they're kind of
I mean,
they're like partially out of here, but
fuck
also
Facebook.
it's like
Fuck Facebook. Fuck Mark Zuckerberg.
Jesus.
Man. Oh, my hatred for Facebook is off the charts.
Mark Zuckerberg is a terrible human being.
Really?
Yes, 100%.
Jesus, I need to get out of my rock more often.
Of all the people who don't know how to read the room and just don't understand what social constructs are, it's Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah,
He is
for sure.
quite possibly one of the most airheaded, intelligent human beings ever. And also, like, it's just so we've seen multiple people take a stand. So Reddit, the Twitter CEO, previously a long time ago Instagram, before they sold their soul and went to Facebook and are now in hell.
I mean, if you gonna throw shade, you're gonna have to throw shade to WhatsApp too, because I think WhatsApp's owned by Facebook as well.
I don't know.
I don't even use WhatsApp.
I mean, I don't know a damn thing about WhatsApp.
Oh yeah, a lot
What do you
of
use
people.
WhatsApp for? Huh?
No, I'm just saying a lot of people outside a lot of people that have family that's outside the United States, they use
fair.
WhatsApp as their main form of social media.
I mean, that is true. That's fair.
So
okay.
yeah, no, I only know about.
I don't have friends from out of state, so
out of state.
Out of state? You only have friends
I
from
said
Illinois?
out of state. I said.
Wow,
I said
I
out of
only
state,
fuck with
right?
Illinois people. If you from Florida, fuck you. If you from Ohio,
About
Well,
to say-
actually, if you are from Florida, yes, fuck you.
I was about to say Florida was a really bad choice.
No, sorry, I didn't mean to say out of state. I was on autopilot. You know what I mean?
or like outside the United States. So like I have a lot of friends
outside
that
of
are,
the
like,
United. Yeah,
Caribbean, right? Like which you
Yeah.
know, association with U.S. is kind of tenuous at times, but like a lot of my friends that are like Haitian or whatnot, like when they communicate with their family members and stuff,
what's that?
they use WhatsApp.
Okay.
So
I don't want to get into a conversation about Mark Zuckerberg because, like we said,
I clearly need to educate myself because I just thought he was just like a really socially awkward billionaire.
No.
That makes
he
bad
is.
choices.
He's just also a horrible human being.
dang, I
on
didn't
top
know
of
he
all that.
graduated to horrible human being. Okay.
But yeah,
Well, I think it's been a progression.
I don't want to get into a talk about Zuckerberg.
Yeah,
off
let's keep it to. You know what? This would be a great time to focus on some positives. First, we're gonna get to Kanye Omari West. I use his full name. Just first and foremost,
Because you're obsessed
we
with
give
it.
him a lot of crap on this podcast, and the world gives this man a lot of crap. So we gonna recognize him for the positivity he has done. He was recently seen protesting in Chicago. He donated $2 million to George Floyd's daughter's college fund. That's dope of him to do. And I think he also made various donations to other families that have been impacted by police brutality as well, right?
Police brutality and like small businesses,
Yeah.
I believe. He's donated quite a bit of money.
Yeah. So shout out to Kanye for putting his money where his mouth isn't, actually, because he's been relatively silent, which many of us are actually very grateful for.
Yeah.
He is much easier to root for when he's not talking, which is ironic because he's a rapper, or he got to start as a rapper / producer.
You know, I feel like the thing with Kanye is that like we want to root for him like deep down in some way.
Yes.
Because like we feel like Kanye was one of us. Like early Kanye was like, like Cole said, there was a time where this nigga was my hero, maybe. Like Kanye was, despite some of his crazier habits, Kanye felt like he was a part of the community, like he was for the community. You think back to the George Bush doesn't like black people.
We go back to his first album. He said racism is still alive. They just be concealing it. Like, this dude was like, man, whoa.
Yeah. And then you fast forward and he's wearing a MAGA hat. And
he says that I feel like slavery is a choice.
Yeah. Yeah. And so it's like, it hurts to see kind of who he's become, but I am glad to see that, he is doing something to help with the move.
I will say this.
Yeah.
For those of y'all that's like, yo, he's been playing like undercover white supremacist, like a black dude that's a white supremacist this whole time. I'm like, yo, relax. You got the
same Black Klansman, fam.
You got to give Kanye like 365 days of a singular behavior before you can judge it.
Exactly.
Because he switches moves so much. Like the Christianity thing is sticking on like really well. So good for him. But don't forget that just a few weeks ago or like in the last few months, he also said that he's going to vote for Donald Trump once time runs around because he didn't told you. So,
yeah.
Which, again, I don't have any feelings here or there for his political leanings or what he says because, quite frankly, he's all over the place. But,
yeah.
Before you start saying, we can start buying his albums again and buying his overpriced Holy Spirit sweatshirts, I would suggest you take a pause on that. But that's just me. Other positives, like really, really positives. When we can think about Alexis Ohanian, who is the founder of Reddit. He actually said he's giving up his position on their board in order for it to be filled by a black person, correct?
He wants it to be filled by a black person. I don't know if he has anybody in mind or there's like somebody that he wants specifically to take it, but he told the board in some kind of messaging that he's resigning and he wants a black person to take the seat.
Yeah, He wants the board to take into consideration an individual of color.
Yes. Yeah. And he is also the husband and the baby daddy, if you really want to use that terminology, for Serena Williams. So, and their kid together. So,
shouts out to him, man.
Yeah, no, he did it. He won.
Shouts out to him.
And it's really good to see, I think people have these conversations a lot, like when somebody that is not a person of color marries a person of color and doing a very good and has children with them and doing a good job of being a part of the solution and not the problem, and understanding that when you marry someone, you can't be colorblind, right? Like you have to inherit all parts of them. And so it's really good to see somebody of his stature and of course Serena Williams' stature to confidently do so during a time like this when there isn't really much to gain from no longer being on the board of the like it's not gonna help Reddit stock or anything. And I'm sure it won't help his either. I don't even know what he does on a business level, but just something that seems like it's a good-hearted thing to do. And I mean, you can argue that yes, because he has a black daughter now, that he now has a personal vested interest, but still, he's doing a lot more than a lot of other people are doing, and I salute him for that. So yeah, that's on the good stuff. All right, now to the real. Oh, okay. Do we want to get into Akon and 6ix9ine?
I'm just disappointed for the people. This
snitches
came
get
out.
Stitches.
Keaton, what do you know about snitches?
There was once upon a time where I snitched on
snitch?
somebody in high school.
You old snitch.
I did snitch in high school.
No loyalty, huh?
I can't mess with snitches, man. Get off this podcast.
Yeah.
We are now just KQ presents.
KQ. Or QK. I'm not QK. Opposed to either one.
Actually, both of them sound decent. I don't mind either one.
AQ and QK.
I'll see y'all on the flip side.
Yeah, no. But so Akon and Kyle, you said that the track actually sounds kind of fire, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. But I mean, that's because like at this point all you need is kind of a beat and something that's annoyingly catchy, and it's like okay. But yeah, I only listened to like 5 seconds of it because I was so disgusted by the fact that Akon was even in the same room as this man.
Right, R.I.P. a real one.
Here's my question though: is Akon considered a rapper, or is he considered hip hop?
Hip hop.
That's
One,
I'll
good
sit on that hill.
question.
and then
'Cause I don't know. I ain't never I probably just always thought of Akon as like a hip hop artist. I've never really put like a
You could throw him in the pop bag as well.
yeah.
yes,
I've never really labeled him as like a rapper. He's just always kind of like an artist
yeah,
to me. Like there's a difference. Like some people I would like definitely call like Meek Mill is definitely a rapper. You know what I mean?
correct, yes,
But
because that's
I
my
don't-
first.
yeah,
And
I don't know.
also, I think we talked about this earlier about how, what was it? I think it was 50 Cent. Well, we might have talked about this on the pod, but 50 Cent and T.I. have both talked about how 6ix9ine success is going to continue just because in 50 Cent's case, he was saying the people that consume hip hop for the most part are not people that are from the streets. So
Oh,
just
for
because
sure.
he doesn't follow street code doesn't mean he's going to have loyalty. Doesn't mean he
T.I.
was going to. But
Go
T.I.
ahead.
ended up saying that even in the hood, people that do end up snitching will still get love from the
Yep.
hood as well.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, I'm not really disappointed in Akon. Akon getting that bag, and he's like, I guess he's just like, yo, 6ix9ine makes great music. So
I'm looking at like the description of Akon. Like if you Google him, there's no
Yeah.
rapper. Rapper doesn't appear in like the description. It's singer songwriter.
okay,
Yeah,
that seems
no
accurate. Actually.
rapper. Yeah, because to be honest, I can't ever recall Akon actually like rapping.
Yeah, no, I think it's low key. Like it's one of those things where we're kind of socialized to be like, oh yeah, he's from like 2010 or before, and he's a black man, and like I don't remember him being on R&B tracks, so he must
have been a rapper.
But no,
Yeah.
that is not always true. I guess yeah, he's more like hip hop / pop.
Yeah,
Cause yeah, there's something hip hop about him. I don't know. It's just something about like the type of music he made that makes me think more hip hop than just pop. But yeah, I'm not disappointed. He's just getting his bag and probably making something that's gonna be like a song of the summer type deal.
well, I won't be listening to it.
I mean, I think you will. You
No.
said the 5 seconds you listened to was fire.
Yes, 5 seconds.
I don't like 6ix9ine a lot, like his music. So it's
I won't be
like
listening to 6ix9ine, period.
when people
Yeah,
are like, "Oh yeah, he's canceled," I'm like, "Oh, I mean, I wasn't listening to him before, so I."
Once he wasn't canceled
Canceled.
either. Again, our point has been proven.
He really wasn't canceled. No.
He's Teflon.
You can't
No.
fucking cancel people.
Who do you think is gonna take the L first, President Donald Trump or 6ix9ine, when it comes to like finally losing and taking an L with their popularity and success rate?
Ooh.
Oh, it's a tough question.
Because, I mean, again, I'm not that much into politics, but like at the end of the day, both of their brands are like Teflon. Like their ability to just
Yeah, like it no matter, even like right when you think, oh, this will definitely change people's minds, it's like, nope. If anything, it just makes people like him more.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess Trump probably because he can get elected out. So
But here's the thing: I don't think he's gonna get elected out.
I don't either, but he can, is what I'm saying. I don't really see 6ix9ine ever taking
149 days. That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying. It's the only thing I'll say. 149 days.
I don't know. It's a tough question. I'm
Mark
not
it on your
sure.
calendars. Go do your job. Go register to vote. Go vote.
Stop yelling in my ears. man.
No. Fucking vote, you lazy dipshits.
Moving on. This is our way of giving back to the community. We're like we're just having Keaton go, yeah, go vote. And just
Hey, go
calling-
vote, bitch.
Yes. Fucking
Oh,
vote.
is that what we're gonna do as KQK presents you? The messenger is gonna make posters. It's just that's the slogan.
Go vote.
Oh man. But Kyle, you had an update to your OnlyMans.
Oh yeah. So
Only
when
men's.
only mans for the mandem.
I
Say
don't.
nothing
I don't.
there.
I don't want to have this conversation again. I feel like I exposed too much.
No, this is simple, right? Because
Is it though?
I got the
Nothing's
question
ever
slightly
simple in
wrong.
this
I
world.
said 250K a month. Like I kind of beefed it up to kind of give us extra incentive to do
I
it.
should be like 2,500 a month.
And both me and Keaton said yes. I'll stand by that because for 250K a month, yeah, I do it.
It's pretty
Nah,
aggressive.
Green.
Hey.
Green.
I'll be swimming in the money. I want to revise it because I think this is probably a more accurate, like what you would probably actually make from doing it.
Because only people on OnlyFans ain't even making that much. Well, one
Depends
person
on who
is.
you ask.
I was
One
going to
person.
say,
One person makes. That
I'm
much
sure
money on
somebody's
OnlyFans.
probably making close to 250K a month.
Jim Wolfie is, I believe. I think she's the only one.
Okay.
Anyway,
Let's go back to this hypothetical. What's happening?
I'm gonna stretch it out. Would you do it for 250,000 a year? Think of it
wow, you said you're gonna make a slight modification. That was a dramatic.
well, because think of it like a high end paying job, right? Like
Yeah,
CEO
true.
of something. Like in some ways, like would you do it for 250K a year?
So I'm making
and granted,
You're making around $21,000 a month.
no, I said 250K for the whole year.
Yeah, divided by 12.
Is that 21?
Yeah, it's $20,833 and
Oh, yeah, about 20
cents.
close
a
to
month.
Yeah.
Oh, nah. What's my name?
Don't do that to Rihanna.
Don't invoke Rihanna in this conversation.
She didn't ask for this.
You know what? I feel like question.
How much would you pay for Rihanna OnlyFans?
Oh,
I feel like this is a dangerous conversation for us to be getting into.
I don't mind this line of questioning. This makes this gets my wheels turning. Okay.
I mean, I would pay for it.
How much I would pay? Oh,
how much?
Like hypothetically, if I had like unlimited monies, how much I pay
no,
for it? Or based off of my current paycheck?
Budget.
Oh, okay. With my current budget, I might not be able to afford it.
I can't afford Rihanna.
Yeah, I don't think I could afford Rihanna.
You charge, say, $99.99 a month.
$100 a month. What's included though? How much content am I getting for $100 a month?
It's Rihanna. You get whatever she gives.
No, like if you're just gonna send me like one picture a month, I'm like, okay, cool. Like I'll just wait till it gets on the internet.
I mean, she's probably going. I don't know. Like, I guess based upon her historical.
Like, is there going to be music? Like,
it'd probably be a little mix of everything. Like a couple of videos. Maybe like 10 to 20 pictures, a little bit of music.
For $100 a month.
Don't think I can cut it. I'm broke.
Yeah, because then, but like they have to the tracks. For me, I'm more concerned about the tracks. Like if the tracks are fire.
So if like artists just picked up OnlyFans just for the tracks, you'd be like, yeah.
No, but it would have to be like legendary tracks. Like it would have to be like what Drake did when he found like the Michael Jackson clip and he made it into a Drake song. Like it would have to be like, I don't know, with Rihanna, it would be like a never before revealed Bob Marley track with Rihanna on that joint. Like,
jeez,
4 tracks like that a month for $100 and accompanying music videos for like half of them. I would think about it.
I'm broke. I ain't got that kind of money. Don't think I could. I can't afford.
I would think about it. Okay, here's the thing. I would do it maybe like a few months out the year type of thing. Like maybe have 1 month where I just like I buy it and I splurge all the content that I hadn't done yet, and then cut the subscription off at the end of the month, and then wait a year, do the same thing again. I would do that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And some of it's gonna invariably leak online too. So
yeah, probably.
So yeah, that would be my.
I feel like this is a interesting question for Keaton because Keaton has a girlfriend. You think Casey would let you do it for $250K a year?
I mean, I don't want to speak for her or speak for any woman out there, so I'm going
Is
to
she standing in the room with you?
She is not.
I'm about to say you can ask.
I was gonna say we can ask
She's
her.
there, yeah.
She is not here. She's not here. We'll have to poll the crowd, and
Poll the crowd.
I shall return with feedback at a later date.
I'm not gonna lie, $250K a month is a lot of money.
I'm pimping you out for sure, Keaton.
You can have them.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think about it for $250K a year. I won't say for sure I'd do it, but I'd think about it.
Is there a contract involved? Because that makes a big deal.
Why wouldn't there be a?
What the?
No, I mean, like, is this like a 3-year deal? Is it a 5-year deal?
Oh, that's what I mean.
Is it? Do you have to do it for 12 months? Like,
I mean, if you want to sign a contract with yourself that says, "Hey, fam, you're gonna do this for 2 years."
I mean, I don't know. If evidently I'm getting pimped out, so I'd like to know the.
I would like to make it known that pimping in the United States of America is not legal. No
Exactly.
matter how
we don't support this. This is a hypothetical situation.
Yeah, I just want to point that out.
Yeah. I'm taking 50-50 of Virgil. It's Virgil. Whatever you make it, Keaton, it's Virgil.
Would that be crazy by the time we got out of like the coronavirus crisis? Like people really started saying like, yo, it's a Virgil situation.
It's a Virgil situation, fam. Yeah, I slid on him. I gave him about 4 Virgils. That's about
4 Virgils.
It was worth about 4 Virgils.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm still sticking with my no, I wouldn't, because
because you were brokey.
And of course, religious reasons.
Brokey
and religious, yes.
Sounds like an awful combination.
Yeah, but maybe God will bless
me. Sounds like a Lecrae album.
Ooh, that's fair. Broken religious.
That's actually broken religious. Sound like a Christian album, a Christian rapper's album title.
Lecrae is a Christian.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it does sound like something you would do.
Yeah. Speaking of music, I listened to a couple of good albums this weekend.
Nice.
That I will want to recommend to the people. I think if anybody knows me, most of my music taste tends to be very chilled and mellowed out.
Sorry.
Did you just say average Future Hendrix?
I don't know.
I'm not even going to dignify that with a response because
I ain't mad at you.
It's just stupid. Anyway, Kota the Friend, Kota the Friend, Kota, dropped an album. It's called Everything. A very summer vibes type album. Very chilled out beats. Really, really dope. Got a couple of dope features on there. Boss is on there. Joey Badass. Kyle, the artist, Kyle, Super Duper Kyle.
No relation.
No relation. But yeah, he dropped a really, really good project. I listened to that today. Like I said, very mellowed out, very, very vibey, very easy, put on, and just get to work on something else while it's playing. Very good album. And then Levin Cali. I think this album came out a while ago. Actually, it's called High Tide. R&B, really good R&B. He's from California, and you can definitely hear the West Coast influence in his music. A lot of I could hear kind of some Anderson .Paak and Sir kind of in some of the music. Could definitely hear that. So definitely check that out too. Really, really dope project for sure. And Giveon, I finally got around to. I hadn't heard of Giveon until Drake released this last
Chicago
album.
Freestyle.
Yeah, Chicago Freestyle. Funny thing about that song is like he actually sounds like that. Like that's not his voice is like not really auto-tuned into that. Like if you can, there's a video of him singing it live on a piano and sounds exactly like it, which is crazy to me because
somebody pointed out like his voice sounds like it's been slowed and reverbed, but it's just like it's his voice. It's not something like it hasn't been edited or anything.
Wow.
He has like a little EP. It's like 8 songs, I want to say, something like that. Really dope too. So if you need some music recommendations, I would definitely check those out.
Word. I would also like to throw in the ring there Mantic by Ro James. It came out May 29th of this year. Solid R&B album. You can definitely hear the Prince influence. Solid love songs. You've probably heard his song. I'm trying to remember what the name of the song was. I think it was You probably heard of. Oh no, Last Time. You probably heard the song Last Time. But yes, very good album. Nice R&B. Good to have love during this time. Not enough of us getting love.
Keaton, any recommendations for what people shouldn't listen to? Because we all know your music choices are trash. So anything that you're listening to is stuff that nobody should be listening to.
You're terrible.
Bitch.
You're terrible.
Ignorance.
No, don't hide your ignorance. We need to
know you a dummy.
We need to show people that white people are stupid.
Do we really need to though? We need to show them that another one.
But the more evidence we have, the better.
No, Bruno Major is a British singer-songwriter, and I don't know how I just confused him for Bruno Mars. So I'm a fucking idiot.
Well, we already knew that.
Why do you keep doing that? You keep getting like the first name right, and you just say, "I'll pick a random last name that makes sense."
I don't remember names to save my life.
You remember first name, just not the last.
You know what? That explains a lot about your interactions with women.
Wish.
Yeah, I remember their face, but I can always remember somebody's face. But
you know what? It makes sense. That's why he always has the same type. It's because he keeps running into women and thinking they're all the same. Like you're like, oh, hello, basic blonde woman. How are you?
Hello, Hannah.
Hello, Hannah.
Wow, that's a throwback.
Hannah.
Yikes.
It's a throwback. That's a throwback I didn't want to hear.
Well, I hated Hannah.
I don't even remember Hannah. I don't.
You don't remember when Channa came over? That was a pretty young thing that he had with him.
Oh.
Girl, I lost my virginity too.
You didn't have to expose yourself like that.
I was gonna say I didn't need you to say all that. I was just saying she was a pretty young thing that was with him.
I mean, we all make mistakes. It's all good.
And I mean, like that.
I will say this. If we want to really talk about, like, there's a difference between making a mistake and just continuously doing the same thing and expecting a different result.
Yeah. It's called insanity.
That's what they say.
At least that's what they say. I don't think that's the technical definition of insanity, but I like the way it
rings off. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
And then the one time you didn't, you made a great decision, and she made a poor decision, and that's okay. That's okay. We all can't win.
We all can't win.
If you guys think I'm a savage, I need y'all to go to the last episode and just listen to the onslaught and any of the descriptions of any of the newest episode of the last episode, because I'm just defending myself.
Yeah. CEO of Dick Marketing.
Right here, ladies. He's right here.
Right here.
Slide up on in there.
No.
Right
no.
here. He's trying to expand his business. You know, he already does dick marketing. He's trying to get into.
Go ahead. No, pop that off. Go ahead. Say what you're about to say.
I'm not gonna say it because I'm gonna be respectful. But you all know what I'm talking about. He's trying to get into the other side. So, ladies, if you want some advice, Quentin Malik Hall, slide those DMs.
Slide up in there, baby.
Speaking of, Q, what was this about the time you got dumped, fam?
Wow. Oh, God. I thought we were going to just forget about it because I was about to roll credits. I ain't going to lie to
you. You thought I was going to miss out on a chance to make fun of you? Funny.
Okay. All right. I will admit I have only been dumped, I believe, twice. I don't
believe you about that, but sure.
One of the times I was dumped was because I was in school. Because, a lot of us came into school with boo things and came into college with boo things and whatnot.
Can't relate.
And Yeah, I can't relate, but that quickly changed for you.
Quite quickly.
Yes, but I came in to college. I was an
Hey.
engineering student, as you guys know.
I made the good decision of not carrying a boo thing from Alabama into my higher education experience.
I don't think that would have improved your experience. I think.
I mean,
carry a woman from Alabama with me.
You made that decision, which I give you credit for, but I also have to take it away considering all the numerous bad decisions you made after that. So
where there was a bad decision, there could have always been a worse one.
I don't know which
you made the worst ones.
No. Wow. I mean,
like
no,
you did. Keaton.
Not always. Not always.
There was a one time, yeah.
It was more than once, but
that he made a good decision?
Oh, no, that he made a worse decision. He's made one good decision.
Listen, I ain't gonna speak on it because I ain't gonna disrespect the women he's been with. But I mean, I already did, but I'm not gonna disrespect him to that degree.
Yeah, he made one good decision, and in between all of that, he made more. You know, and in that one good decision, he also has made bad decisions and more good decisions.
Wow. Okay.
I feel like that's the story of your life, Keaton. Like good decision, bad decision, good decision, bad decision,
worst decision, bad decision, bad decision, good decision,
worst decision, and then a couple of more good decisions. The Keaton car experience.
Do you need some water? Do you need to take a walk?
Do you need some milk?
Excuse me.
I was about to say you seem quite defeated right now. You're just like, this is ridiculous.
Nah, it's fine. I don't consider it too much of an L. I know what my real L's are, and I'll hold those for a long time. So
okay.
Well, hey, delusion is better than ignorance is bliss sometimes.
Just don't think about it.
Yeah, just don't think about it.
But yeah,
live in your past.
So starting school, she was having a hard time adjusting to college. We'll just put it that way. And so she was calling me every day, like talking for like 2-3 hours a day. And I was like, hey, listen, I'm barely sleeping as is. If these guys can be testament to, I didn't really sleep until my junior to senior year of college. I did not sleep until that point. So I was like, hey, it's really stressful out here. It's a lot of work. We're going to need to like schedule these conversations to be like once a week where you can just, go off, vent, do what you got to do. And we agreed. However, her behavior did not change. And one day she was having a particularly bad night. And I texted her, okay. And then she was like, okay. And she's like, yeah, this isn't going to work. I was like, I agree. And so that was the breakup at that time. My only other breakup, which I guess is technically a breakup or not, asked the girl out. We had known each other we had been friends. Asked the girl out. She was like, yeah, we should date. I agree with you. And I was like, that's wonderful. And then a few days later, she was like, nah, never mind. I didn't want to do anything serious. So
yeah, you ugly ass nigga.
So yeah, I've only been dumped twice ever.
I don't believe you, but
excuse me, I made a terrible mistake. I'd like to go back now.
Facts.
Oh, sorry. Literally. I thought I thought I was talking to somebody that looked like you. Sorry, wrong person.
I was texting the wrong guy. My bad.
Texting the wrong dude. My bad.
The late night feels. Sometimes they can be deceiving, and then you wake up the next day and you're like,
after midnight is not a good time.
Yeah, no, I don't think it was after midnight. Saturday Night Live was still on. Actually, I remember that. It was a Chance the Rapper episode. Or one of the Chance the Rapper episodes, excuse me. I think it was the first one.
Yeah. In my head, I'm going to keep making up the stories of how you've actually probably been dumped way more times than that because, like I said, I don't believe you.
Not dumped, just rejected or friend zone. You don't know.
Okay,
dumped is a hard word.
Because, the second story is more of a friend zone situation than it is like a dumped situation. But then again, it's like also it was like confirmed denied in like 2 to 3 days. It was almost like, like when a scanner, like it just scans something the wrong way and then it corrects itself after a while. It kind of.
Oh, so you swiped your card and it was like green and then it did like some flash and then it came back. Oh, sorry, you ugly as hell. You can't go through.
Exactly. It was like I scanned it. It was green. I started grabbing my bags, and the cashier was like, "Oh, wait, sorry, you're much uglier than I thought you were. I need you to come back, and drop your bags because clearly you can't afford this. This is above your pay grade."
Yeah.
So, no, but I haven't been dumped that many times, or I don't know about friend zone because there's been oh yeah, I forgot about being friend zone. Yikes.
You've been fam, don't sit here and pretend like you ain't been friend zoned a ton of times.
Hey, Q, hey, say this to yourself though. You've been trying. You have tried. You have had a relationship. You have
I was
done
about
something.
to say.
You have done something.
Shoot or shoot, bro. Clearly. You're not a shooter. You're not a rebounder even. You're not even on the court.
I'm out here making mistakes because I'm at least trying. I tried.
Nope, I
did something.
I am sitting on the bench making my money.
What money?
For the ride, happy.
What money? You still a brokey. What money you making?
Keaton, you still a brokey too.
Doesn't mean I can't say you're not a brokey.
Yeah, you a brokey too. We all broke.
Absolutely.
Well, actually, you know what? Q ain't broke because the man just got a new job, so he probably ain't broke.
Hey, I'm shooting. No, you ain't shooting. Hey, you a brokey.
Dang, that's true. You don't shoot.
Hey, start shooting. Then talk some shit.
I am good. I am comfortable.
Bro, you ain't even made it on the court, bro. You watching it from a 1970 TV.
That shit a small cube and it's black and white. You turn on, it's like.
It's mostly static. Sometimes you can tell when they make a play. Sometimes you can tell when they.
You got one of them little antennas where you like pull the things out and you like plug it in the back of the TV, and then you turn the TV on and he's like, no. He's got that one channel he always likes to watch. He's like, shit, the antenna ain't working. So you got to go like hold on to it or like twist it just a little way. So you
got to hold it a certain way to make sure you can.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you got the little the knobs of aluminum on the ends there, just to try to get the signal to come in.
You gotta tell everybody, hey fam, don't bump into the TV, you gonna mess it up.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
You got a VHS player underneath that you can put in his old ass videos.
Yeah.
Of him not shooting his shot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I said, I am more than comfortable where I'm at. I am not getting my money spent by women who don't really love me.
This is becoming a therapy session.
Listen. If you getting your money spent by somebody who don't love you, you need to get out that real fast.
I was about to say you would know.
You would know well, wouldn't you?
I'm saying this because I have the wisdom. I have the knowledge in this.
This is true. You do have a lot of knowledge with that.
People, I lost a lot of money and alcohol and food to people who did not love me or care about me. And you know what I'm saying to them right now? Fuck off. And you know what I'm saying?
You know what? I'm really glad I haven't spent $100 on a date.
Listen here.
I'm real glad about that, Q.
First of all, I'm a gentle.
That's light work.
Hold up. Yeah. First of all,
that's light work.
It is. It is light work.
Absolutely.
Light work. I will not be partaking in.
Oh yeah, double that if you actually care about them. No,
okay,
but actually, if you're not at least 2 years into a relationship, don't spend over $100 on a date.
Here's what I'm saying. I am a man. It is expensive to be a gentleman, and I am a Midwestern gentleman, and so for me, $100 is worth the date.
And you should expect nothing out of it in return.
Not if you only went on that date because you was listening to Daniel Caesar and you got in your feelings and you decided you wanted.
That wasn't the only reason, bro. That wasn't the only reason. I'm a hopeless romantic. This is true.
Who was listening to Daniel Caesar? That's like giving an addict access to his drug of choice.
We need to make a playlist that's like pre-date playlist. So it's got some Weeknd, some Future, some.
I'm not listening to Future
Drake.
before a date.
Then you ain't putting Future on before a date.
What do you want to listen to? Let's put some Daniel Caesar on there. Let's put some.
It's about balance. It's about balance. You're not supposed to be thinking you're in love with the person. You're supposed to be like, I care about you, but at the end of the day, I'm still that nigga. Like, that's really the vibe. Like, it's the pre-date vibe.
Until they show that they care and appreciate you, you should keep that wall up.
Okay, but here's what I'm saying. Keaton, you sound like you have massive trust issues. Because how are you going to be able to receive the love if it's really there if you are not receptive to it?
I'm not saying you can't be receptive. Just be careful.
Yeah, I agree. But you out here being like, yo, don't let them walls down until...
Because they will hurt you.
But that's a part of the process. In order to feel love, you
mean-
must feel pain.
Pain is not necessary if you don't let yourself feel pain.
It sounds like
No.
a real fuckboyish thing.
Now that sounds like something Future was saying in an interview. Listen, you don't have to feel pain. You know, all you gotta do is tell her don't get comfortable.
Don't get comfortable.
You'll never feel pain again.
Bitch, don't get too comfortable. Better not get too comfortable. Oh man.
Hell no.
Oh man.
And that is the podcast, people.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So to go over what we've gone over today, we went over the case, the police officers in the George Floyd case. We went over Breonna Taylor's case being reopened, Messiah Young and Tamaya Pilgrim, and their police brutality case with 6 Black officers in Atlanta. Rest in power to any of the lives that have been lost during the protests, and the LA chief of police being a dummy in the way that he addresses the protesters. On a much more lighthearted note today, we talked about apparently the former Miss Malaysia said, "We choose to be Black." Let that sink in. Enough said. We also gave a special shout out, a moment of unrest instead of silence, to racist people getting exposed on social media. Celebrities who are just doing too much, talking too much, and need to go and sit down somewhere. We talked about Desi Banks, B. Simone, Virgil Abloh, and Tokyo
Blah.
Jets. Blah.
Blah.
And Tokyo Jets. And then we also gave a little shout out to Kanye because we talk about him so bad generally. We got to give him his props when he's doing right. We talked about
True.
Akon and 6ix9ine. We gave an update on our Only Man's conversation. Keaton did not tell his story today, but you know what? I think we have eviscerated one of the team enough today for a story time. So maybe we'll do it some other time. And of course, we also talked about Serena and Alexis Ohanian and Pride. Shout out to Pride as well. And
Yes, for sure.
last but not least, a nice, good roasting session of my previous dating history. And that is the pod today. Thank you all for listening. We hope to see you all next time.
Go vote.
Go vote. Stay safe. Stay positive. Take care of your mentals, people. It's rough out here. Don't be afraid to take a day off from social media. Go take a walk. Watch your favorite movies. Do your favorite hobbies. Just whatever you can, and to kind of reset yourself. Take care of your mental, your spiritual, and your physical.
You're.
Peace.